Hey, what's going on guys, Migzuba here, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at a JUND sacrifice deck for standard best of one. So, about a week ago I put out a Rakdos sack deck that was much more graveyard focused. It ran a lot of self-mill with cards like Timuret Calls the Dead and Mire Triton, and tried to get paid mostly through the graveyard, taking advantage of escape cards like Kroxa and Woestrider. And while we still have those cards because we're in Rakdos and they're very powerful, our main focus of this deck is to steal and sacrifice for extra value. So our first theft card is Claim the Firstborn. You guys know this card. Take your opponent's creature, sacrifice it in a number of ways, get paid. Same for the Akroan War. Take your opponent's bigger creature, sacrifice it, get paid in a number of ways. We'll go through the sack outlets. We have Village Rites. You guys know this. Sacrifice a creature, draw 2 cards. Pretty standard. Woestrider. Well, we are in a dedicated escape graveyard deck. A 3-mana creature that creates a blocker when it ETBs and can scry is very solid. Also, having the open-ended sack outlet is the main draw to the card, so very powerful, definitely a 4 of in this type of deck. Speaking of open-ended sack outlets, we have the Immersturm Predator. New from Kaldheim, it really just gives this archetype more life. Whenever, and not by life I don't mean life gain, I mean as in like playability. Anyways, Rakdos Dragon, 3/3 flyer. When it becomes tapped, we get to exile 1 target card from a graveyard and put a +1/+1 counter on it. So it gets tapped in 2 ways, obviously by attacking or by sacrificing another creature to make it indestructible. So we have another kind of open-ended sack outlet. The only cost on the Predator is that it becomes tapped. So that's really solid. We can steal and sack to grow it, or just even exile cards from the yard. Like, let's say we want to get rid of other escape cards the opponent has, that type of thing. So really great card. Speaking of cards that pay you for sacrificing, we also have Corvald, Fakehurst King. Now this is the draw to JUND. This is another dragon, and whenever it ETBs or attacks, we sacrifice another permanent. And then whenever we sacrifice a permanent, we put a +1/+1 counter on it, and we draw a card. So this is very similar to the Predator, but gets us card advantage instead of graveyard control, and is not an open-ended sack outlet, but is one when we attack. So other new cards from Kaldheim, Binding the Old Gods. I've seen this in a lot of control decks, but I like the ability to have a open-ended destroy target non-land permanent, basically hit all removal in my JUND deck. Seems really solid. And although we only run 1 forest, we're not exactly in it for the chapter 2, and we're more in it for chapters 1 and 3. Giving everything Death Touch can be pretty relevant in a deck with a bunch of creatures. And I'm happy with 1 copy. I don't want to put too much green mana into this deck, but I think having 4 green pips total is fair. And we have the pathways which let us play green in other ways, so we might even get the forest off the binding. We have Egon, really solid card. It helps fill our escape creatures for whenever we want to cast them, as well as being a draw engine against control, really solid. Against aggro, a 3-mana 6/6 to block for a turn, and then even if it can't stick around, draws you a card, is also pretty respectable. Valky, God of Lies, you guys have definitely played it with and against this card. When it ETBs, you get to look at your opponent's hand, take a creature, it can turn into it, and Tybalt basically is just a card advantage machine. I'm not going to go through everything. These cards have been in the format for a couple weeks now, and Bone Crusher Giant is just a solid card on the back end and on the front end. Removal and a creature. Bloodchief's Thirst, we're in best of 1, we want to stay alive. So that's it for the deck, guys. I'll go over the mana base really quick. We have all the pathways. Pathways are super important in a 3-color deck. Your priority is red and black. We do want a bit of green though, but just not right away kind of thing. So we also run Temple. This can easily be Triome if you're worried about the castle entering untapped. Only 1 castle because it's the best one. But yeah, the Scry is pretty important as well. Aside from that, Fabled Passage, fix your mana on 4. And yeah, pretty even split between the basics. We are more dedicated to black than anything, so slight lean towards black, and only 1 forest to be able to fetch it off the passage, and maybe the binding. So that's it for the deck, guys. It will be in the description below, as always. If you like the deck, be sure to drop a like on the video. I'd really appreciate it, and consider subscribing. It motivates me to make more content. So that's going to be it for me, guys. Let's get into some games. All right. Kind of a weird hand. very land heavy. We have the Gigantha. Maybe I am supposed to mulligan this, but I have faith in the deck. And if we go turn 2 Valky into a creature deck on the opponent's end of things, then that means that we can transform it on 3 ideally. Opponent taking 1 mulligan, so maybe not Tybalt's Trickery just yet. Could just be a bad draw. And we'll get started on Swamp. Okay, so maybe facing a real player. By real player, I mean someone not just degenerately playing Tybalt's Trickery. Ooh, okay, so Brushfire Elemental or Goldspan Dragon? What do we want this Valky to be? I think we make it a Goldspan Dragon. And then on 5, we can turn it into the dragon. We have all the mana we need. The reason I'm not taking the Brushfire Elemental is because it's a really good claim Village Rights target. And being able to eventually get a dragon on 5 is going to be huge. Opponent attacks. Sure. Well, let's go. Crow and Ward, nice. That's really good as well. Start out with Claim. Then a land for turn for more damage, I guess. We could draw tap land and then I'm a little bit punished, but I do think this is fine. Go for the Village Rights. Also, save my pathways. I don't know what color I'm going to need them on. Alright, perfect. So we're not looking too bad, guys. We found another sack outlet as well in the form of the Predator. So we only ever really need 1 green source, and we need double red eventually. Well, there's our 1 green source. Let's attack with Valky, see what happens. Nothing just yet. So we'll put... I guess we'll put this on red. And play the Predator. I'm going to hold my black sources because we might need more of them in the future. And I mean, I have my clear green source. Alright, Elemental comes down. They have the Fabled Passage for 1 big boy Elemental. Which, I'll take the hit, I don't mind. We're doing okay on life, so can afford it. And next turn, we can turn Valky into a Goldspan Dragon, which might be the play. Yeah, no blocks. Okay. So let's actually go for that, and then a Crow and Ward there, Goldspan Dragon next turn. How much damage can they deal? Let's say they even have a Fabled Passage. This makes us a 5/5. That hits for 8. And it takes pretty much all their mana. They can stomp my face for 9/10. If they play Fabled Passage, they can get the Henge down, but they take their whole turn playing the Henge, and we have them on a pretty potent clock. So let's turn this into a Goldspan Dragon. No Bone Crusher in response. And the opponent scoops. Oh yeah. That's awesome. So Valky's side of Tybalt putting in crazy work, but we're also really just okay on the way back because we can a Crow and Ward their Goldspan Dragon and hit them for lethal in the air. And even if we didn't, like, we have the sack outlet for if the game were to go later. But yeah, even though we flooded a little bit, we are a-okay. Okay, opponent's gonna start playing Lurrus. So our hand is okay. Can't complain, really. We have Binding with the green mana to cast it. If this is Rogues, then a Claim the Firstborn would be really appreciated because we have plenty of sack effects and no steal effects. Alright, so this is probably Rogues. Cycling doesn't typically play Fabled Passage. Yep, okay. Well, against Rogues, we have all of our escape cards, so that's a feels good. Bloodchief's Thirst, yeah, I'll keep that. Might get milled, but they're going to have some cheap creatures that we need to kill. All right, Wind Robber comes down, and we can't. I think we just hold open Stomp here. Put this on red, save this. I don't want to necessarily play the green side just yet. We can play this at a later turn, maybe targeting a crab or something. Opponent hasn't milled me yet. Go to attacks. Do I care about getting milled here? I don't think they're going to main phase anything. I think I just stop this. Any sort of rogue they're going to play it at instant speed, bar another Wind Robber. And with nothing in my yard, they don't have Drown enabled, so pretty good. All right, Corvald. So now we have to make a decision. Are we putting this on green or are we putting this on black? I think I just purely for the fact that I don't think Corvald will resolve, at least not very easily. I think we put it on black and just make our lives a lot easier. Could be a mistake. I don't think it is. We're going to play with the Roast Rider because if they're holding up removal, then they're not very happy about removing the Roast Rider. And we get the goat. Cool. Also, I think building up to Croxa mana is more important than potentially playing a Corvald. Alright, there's an eliminate. Okay. So Roast Rider can die. We also need double black to escape it. There's our double black. And there's red. Okay. So. Okay, I have a lot of different spaces here. Get this down. Bloodchief's Thirst, the Soaring Thought Thief, and we'll play out the Bone Crusher Giant. I could have also held up Village Rites here, but if they're spending removal on my Bone Crusher, that's fine. Save the goat. We don't scry when they removed it, because we do have Corvald, and if ever we find another green source and resolve Corvald, we want something free to eat. Alright, they do take out the Bone Crusher Giant. Okay. So that's not bad. It's another Croxa. Are they going to mill me in time for this to actually matter? I actually think we keep it regardless because we can use Village Rites to sacrifice it in response. I could also Village Rites my own goat. I don't think that's very good. I rather save it for actual targeted removal or something that's going to die anyways, and save this for my Corvald. Sorry guys, little tired today. Like honestly, when aren't I? So does Croxa resolve? They drown my Croxa. So now I'm kind of tempted to actually use this. All right, we're gonna do it. Dig for land. Try to stay ahead that way. And we find land. No green yet, because we put our green sources down on other colors. But it's okay, we still have plenty left in the deck. And next turn we can start escaping some cards. Alright, opponent leaving one black open. Let's escape Croxa. Make sure we leave a Roast Rider in the yard. Resolves, very good. And this is why we still have them in the deck. Rogues is so common. It's Rogues, Hard Aggro, or Tybalt's Trickery, Degeneracy, and that land came off the top. So we know their hand is straight gasoline. Bloodchief's Thirst. Let's draw some more cards. Try to hit a green source. No green source, but we do find a Bone Crusher Giant, which is pretty good in this spot. Let's stomp the Wind Robber. Use whatever mana we have left. See if they want to counter this. And they drown and concede. Yeah, we just have so much card advantage from that spot. Our hand is pure gas. If ever we draw green, we resolve Corvald, we can play Egon, and they either have to waste more removal, which I don't know how much they actually have because they have one card in their hand, or just start taking 6 a turn. If they play their actual game plan and mill us, then we have this in the yard, and any permanent like Luris comes down, or they play a crab, we just binding it. So yeah, pretty good game. Also, we can still fetch our forest out of the deck, so that's pretty funny as well. Okay, hand is not bad. Opponent's taking a mulligan. A little bit slow, but oh, double mulligan. Good. Tybalt's Trickery. Triple mulligan. Quintuple mulligan. Scoop. Jesus, guys. I can't. I know this is a very degenerative deck, and I know I'm not the only one that feels that way. I have heard many the rant. Oh yeah, Multi-2, let's go. We're gonna put this down on 1 because I literally have nothing else to do. And hopefully we can hit an escape creature because I'm not killing my opponent for a while. He kept a very slow hand. Okay, we'll put this on red. And we're passing. I'm really sad we kept this hand. But the opponent molted too. I want to kill them as fast as possible. Scry to the bottom. Corvald, no. Okay, at least we find a Corvald here. And turn 3, as sad as it is literally by Giganta. Okay. We're almost in it. We're almost playing creatures, boys. We gotta get them dead. Oh, here we go. Alright. Into the Trickery. It was a little late, so we'll see what they hit. Ultimatum. Okay, we'll see what they hit off the ultimatum. It might not be that bad. I'm just hoping for something not too bad that I can potentially deal with. Like Coma. Alright, this is fine. Plus cards in hand. Coma's fine. Honestly. We can Chrome and War it. I am upset I kept this hand though. Very slow. But double a Chrome and War against these cards is solid. Alright. Land, nice. Make a Serpent. Okay. And it looks like we have a weird game. Alright, so this is going to be double black. And we'll... Do we take the Coma now? Yeah, let's take the Coma. Nice Snake Mate. That's kind of why I also kept a hand with a bunch of Akroan Wars. I've been hit my turn 2 and up Coma like 3 times today. What's it going to be? You want to make it indestructible? Would you like to sacrifice your coil? No? And now I'm starting to get the snakes. Sorry, these serpents. Yep, pretty degenerative, right, guys? Alright, my turn. More snakes. Oh, this is great. So they have to attack into me now. And we just... There's so many options. I love it. Okay, hold on. What's the best option? So, this will go off next turn. So we can attack in, be aggro. I think that's fine. I think that's the play. Attack in like this. Free block, that's fine. And they trump the Coma. Cool. Okay, so now I can play Corvald, eat the Coma. And then they'll have to attack into the Corvald with the Asika. Sure. Nice Snake Mate. Can you Tybalt's Trickery into an Ugin? I feel like that's literally their only out right now. Yep. Oh, they tap the Asika so they don't have to sack it. That's smart, at least. Alright. Sack the Saga, get a card. Now, when I attack, what do I want to sacrifice? I can take this Asika and just... How much damage is that? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can start sacking lands. I can sack the Throne of Death, which isn't doing that much for me. I think I want to hold this for another coma. Let's put this on a... we'll hold it for tap land. Alright, let's attack first. We can drop off the throne, I think. I don't think we're going to need it in this match. And there's a Woe Strider, nice. Down to 7. Okay. So, Predator. And then hold open double Village Rites. Or just hold open 1 Village Rites, I mean. Or Woe Strider. I think we go for the Predator. Put this on red. And pass. There might have been other things we could have done in this game, but I don't think I made any grave error. And I think just watching Tybalt's Trickery have their coma stolen by an Akroan War just makes for beautiful content. I think this is a prime play. I think people are going to be very happy with it. Just sweet justice. Okay, against Lurrus, so we love to see it. Rogues is an amazing match. And our hand is solid. We can go turn on Egon if we want to. Or we can just chill out. And a bunch of removal against what I assume is rogues or cycling is solid, as well as a sack outlet. So let's keep. The real question is if we want to play Egon on 1. Ruin Crab. Ouch. So I'm going to go with no. I'm going to decline to play Egon on 1 because I think the body might be more important, because clearly they're going to be milling us for themselves. Oh boy. Okay. This is going to be a game. Let's go. Hit some escape cards for me. No escape cards hit. Well, that's not horrible. Let's take a crab. And eat a crab. Slow down the mill plan a little bit. And that's good. We have up to land 4. Better than just holding open Stomp, I think. Because they don't even have a target yet. Alright. Alright. I think we just slam Egon. And we go, do you like to counter or not? No green mana just yet. I could have played those on green, but I want Croxa mana available. And Egon resolves? Perfect. Alright, if Egon resolves, that means that their only outs are other Death Touchers like Thieves Guild Enforcer, or Eliminate, or Heartless Act, or Kicked Bloodchief's Thirst, actually. But yeah, those are the main outs. So we'll see if they want to spend 4 mana, or, oh yeah, okay, they don't counter, they just use the Drown as a targeted removal spell. That's fine. Thought Thief, and half my library is gone, no stress. Should I get, have they milled the 1 forest? Alright, let's get the 1 forest out of the deck. And play the Predator. Or should I try to resolve the Akroan War first? This is a red source, we have double red, double black anyways. Let's thin the deck of the 1 forest so we have green mana at least. So Akroan War or Predator first? I think Akroan War first, because I want to be able to protect the Predator from removal. Grab the Thought Thief. They can get free mills off that, whereas Ruin Crab requires them to have land. Alright. Thieves Guild Enforcer dies to Bone Crusher Giant, so that's fine, we have plenty of that. Bit punished for taking the Thought Thief. They do have the of one mind. And into the land, okay. Still no Croxes, but no double blue either, so Into the Story is off the cards. Wind Robber though. And our library is getting painstakingly low. And they have to attack next turn, so we keep that in mind. Put this on red. I'm just thinking of how I want to do this. If I can play the Predator, block, and sacrifice it. Or I can, so okay, my options are play Predator, hold open Village Rights, which isn't horrible, or I can stomp the Thieves Guild Enforcer and then play out the Bone Crusher Giant, but then I don't guarantee my Thought Thief coming back, or I don't guarantee that I can get rid of this Thought Thief. Alright. Let's play out the Predator. They have no counter magic, so they need targeted removal, which this gets around. And no attacks. We'll make the Crowan War do its thing. And we'll make them throw away a Ruin Crab. And a Wind Robber. And we'll take 3 from the Thieves Guild Enforcer. So they're going to sacrifice the Wind Robber, but that's fine. See what they do. Don't react just yet. Go to damage. Yep. I think the only way they actually win is by milling me. I don't think they're going to kill me. Lurrus can resolve into Crab. Okay. So how do I want to do this? Do I want the counter or do I want the cards? I think I want the cards. Mill me some more. Still no Croxes in here. Feels bad. And they're gonna lose. Okay, Thought Thief. All right. Let's get the cards. We're running a little thin. And it just land. Okay. Please mill Croxa. Thank you. Ooh, we can. Okay, so that dies. Can a Crowan War again, which isn't bad. Can a Crowan War plus Stomp? So, okay. If I a Crowan War this Lurrus, then I can cast Croxa out of my yard, make them ditch their one last card. I don't hate it. We get Lurrus for a little bit. Let me just make sure I have another red source in my deck. I do. Okay, we actually only need double red for this. So what's the... I think we only need double red for this play. So we will start here. Get Swamp, I think, because we do just have more red costs in the deck. Take their Lurrus. And take their last card. Lots of lines, lots of options. And it was into the story. Very glad I did that. Okay. Now, to attack or not to attack? I think we chill. I know I have to get them dead, but I don't want to get them 2 free mills. Okay, land is fine. They do get some more mill triggers, but they can't do anything. Yeah, they don't want to throw away their Thought Thief. Alright. So now we have a lot of options. Like, look at this hand. We'll put this on black or red. We might actually want that on red. Hold on just a second, guys. I can double stomp either of these. I have 7 total mana, including my land drop. I want to use all of it in the most effective way possible, keeping in mind they're going to be attacking me. So I want to hold this back, but I want to attack with the Lurrus. I think the plan is honestly... Jesus. I did not mean to cast that. I meant to cast the other side. Well, mistakes were made. That is undoubtable. Let's attack with the Lurrus now. I just wanted to get an aggressive threat on the board. Alright. Now, Kroxa or no Kroxa? They're going to be attacking into this Predator anyways. I think we get Kroxa online. Get a bit more red. Hold open Stomp. Just exile whatever. Our grave is so full, it doesn't really matter right now. Okay, so we still end up having access to all our mana, so we're fine. Not the ideal play, but I still think this line was okay. If I get milled because of my own Throne of Death, I'm going to be genuinely upset. Thieves Guild Enforcer. Oh, well, that dies to Bone Crusher Giant. So that's a plus. Now they attack. We block here and here. And we will stomp the Thieves Guild. And we'll also sack the Lurrus. They're on empty, so it doesn't really matter. Exile it because of Agadeems. And that's enough for the opponent. Okay, so slight misplay. Casting the Throne of Death side, I probably had better options, but there was a lot of those options, and I just wanted to get the Egon on the line because I wanted a big body. But a little brain fart. Didn't recognize that I can only cast the Throne of Death side. Won't happen again, guys, but honestly, just decimates rogues. Alright guys, and we are back. So one thing I forgot to mention in the intro was the companion. I don't play with Jugantha a lot, but in this deck it is very free. I don't want to run Shatterskull Smashing, which was the only card preventing me from running Jugantha in my other deck. And after a couple playtesting games, like about 20 or 30 or so, I decided that Jugantha was probably better than the Smashing, all in all. And in this deck particularly, because you can tap it and it pays for 3 of the pips for Corvald, 2 of the pips for the Binding, 2 of the pips for the Kroxa. Basically, it is a free 5/5 pretty much in the deck that also can ramp you quite a bit based on our weird mana costs. Oh yeah, also the red-black on the Predator. So yeah, guys, that's the list. I feel really dumb about that Throne of Death play, but we still managed to take the game. So can't be all in all too upset. And yeah, if you play this deck yourself, you will notice there's a lot of decisions, lots of sacrificing to do, and it is a lot of fun. So again, it will be in the description down below as always, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace out.